get right on to item number 11, which is our annual report from the Parks and Recreation Commission.
Ooh. Yeah, I know, they're up here. That's not a good start, is it? Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Mike Palmer. I'm the current chairperson for the Parks and Recreation Commission. I'm here tonight to present the Commission's annual report and to review our 2016-2017 work plan. Slide number 2 shows the Commission members for 2016-2017. That's an excellent picture, by the way. I don't know if you get that here, but that's quite a handsome group. And some of my fellow commissioners are here this evening. With the council's permission, I'd like to take just a brief second to introduce them. Commission member Chris Gonzalez, Commissioner Alex Melendrez, Commissioner Lucy Zamatea, Commissioner Lori Greenberg, and Vice Chair Laura Davis. So, the student representative, the student representative position for the commission is currently vacant. This report will cover the commission's work over the 2016-2017 fiscal year. So, slide 3, the purpose of the Parks and Recreation Commission is to make recommendations to the City Council regarding community recreation needs, and these could include input on recreational activities, input on the various classes and programs offered by the Rec Department, input on the use of recreational facilities and equipment, and input on the operation, supervision, and maintenance of playgrounds, athletic fields, the community swimming pool, indoor recreation facilities, auditoriums, and other facilities designated for recreational use with the exception of the Senior Center. As you know, the Senior Center has its own advisory board. Slide 4 details the Park and Recreation Commission's accomplishments for 2016-17. These will be shown in a little more detail as we move through the presentation, but to give everyone an overview, the Parks and Recreation Commission finalized the construction design for the construction of the new Florida Avenue Park, finalized the construction design for the construction of the new Earl Glenview Park, initiated the pilot program to allow dogs on leashes in some parks, discussed and held a community meeting to initiate the process for making improvements to the Commodore Park Dog Run, assisted with the development and design of the 2 new restroom facilities for San Rose City Park, began the process for needed improvements to some of the pathways in various parks, reviewed and recommended new registration and facility reservation software, and finally, the Parks and Recreation Commission presented the annual Community Recognition Award. So I'm going to talk about slides 5 and 6, and Carrie can move between them because the Parks and Rec, with the council's permission, I'd like to discuss them at the same time. It's because the process that the Parks and Recreation Commission followed for both parks was very similar. The commission assisted with the planning, the development, and the final approval of the construction plans for both of the new parks, one to be located at Florida and Taylor Avenues, and the other park at Earl/Claremont and Glenview Avenues. In addition to the discussions that took place at the regular Parks and Recreation Commission meetings, I wanted to acknowledge the 2 subcommittees that also took part in the community meetings for both of these parks. Commissioners Davis, Zamatea, and Greenberg were at the community meetings for the Earl Glenview Park, and Commissioners Melendrez and Salazar, who's not here this evening, attended the community meetings for the Florida Avenue Park. And if the council attended any of them, you know that those were long discussions. And I think that their presence was a huge benefit. Well, at these meetings, the commissioners observed the process, gathered input, and got a feel for the types of amenities that the local communities wanted to see in the new park. Both subcommittees then made oral reports at each commission meeting that took place after one of the community meetings. The information that the subcommittees brought back to the commission was vital to the decisions that the commission then made in regards to each of these projects. Slide 7 shows the pilot program to allow dogs on leashes in some of the city's parks. This slide shows some of the pictures of the pilot program to allow dogs on leashes in some parks in San Bruno. The commission helped to develop and then initiate this pilot program, which took place from April 24 to October 24. Close enough. San Bruno City Park and Grundy Park were the locations that were selected to conduct the pilot program. And I believe later on tonight the council will be receiving a staff report on the pilot program. Slide 8 talks about the Commodore Park dog run enhancements, and this slide shows the dog run as it is today. The Parks and Recreation Commission began discussions on some of the enhancements that could be made at the current facility. The commission decided to host a community meeting on the subject and advertise this meeting so that any of the stakeholders could attend. The community meeting took place immediately following the regular Parks and Recreation Commission meeting of September 20th. The commission will again be discussing the dog run at its combined November-December meeting on Wednesday, December 6th. And I just wanted to add that I got a lot of positive vibes out of that community meeting that we hosted. I thought it was a good idea. Slide 9 is the City Park restroom replacement project. The commission held discussions over several meetings to review and approve the current City Park restroom replacement project. This project involves the demolition and replacement of the restroom building located behind Tom Lara Field and also the restroom building located near Diamond 3 in the Upper Park area. Currently, both of these projects have yet to begin, and we remain hopeful that they will be finished in the spring of 2018. Slide 10 is the park pathway restoration work. This slide shows a couple of pictures of the newly refinished pathway in the lower portion of San Bruno City Park. This project was scheduled for completion in 2 phases. The first phase involved all the pathways, as I said, in the lower portion of the park, and these have been finished. The city's contractor began the second phase of the project, which is the upper portion of the pathways, on Tuesday, November 7. They are currently patching and paving during this week, weather permitting. To complete the work, the contractor will apply a slurry coat to seal the pathway, and that'll either be November 14th or November 21st. Yeah. So next week, hopefully, depending on weather. Slide 11 is the new registration and facilities reservation software program. The Parks and Recreation Commission received several different reports and subsequent updates on new software to be used by staff at the Recreation Department. The old software program was expensive to access and not user-friendly for the community. The new software, called Civic Plus, is more cost-effective and allows the community users to register from home, work, etc. for no additional cost. And from what we hear, the staff really likes it. Slide 12 is the presentation of our annual Community Recognition Award. This year the Commission awarded the Community Award to Lorenzo Hockaday. Lorenzo is a worthy recipient of this honor for a lot of reasons, but mostly because of his commitment to the development of young people through sports and positive coaching. He has coached basketball, flag football, and kickball on every level from second grade through high school. He teaches all of his players the 3 A's, which signify academics, attitude, and ability. Lorenzo is very generous with his time, and you'll often find him volunteering with a multitude of local organizations, including the BASO Lions Club, St. Robert's, club basketball teams, and the San Bruno Special Needs Program. The Commission was very happy and proud to be able to present this honor to Lorenzo. It was well deserved. And finally, slide 13 shows the goals for 2017-18. And this work plan includes the dedication of the new Earl Glenview Park, the dedication of the new Florida Avenue Park. The commission will support community engagement and the master plan design process of the new Recreation and Aquatic Center. Continue on updating the Parks and Recreation Commission Parks Inspection Program so that all of the city's parks are inspected at least once annually. Complete the park pathway improvements within the funding that is available for both Commodore Park and Grundy Park. Continue to discuss and then commence enhancements to the Commodore Park Dog Run and implement any city council policy changes to existing city policy regulating dogs being allowed in parks. So this concludes the Park and Recreation's annual report to the City Council for 2016-2017. Thank you for your time. Be more than happy to answer any questions that the council may have for me tonight.
Good. I just want to say, on behalf of the City Council, as I say to all the boards and commissions and committees, that really you are the foundation of what happens in this city. All of these hours, thousands upon thousands of hours on all of our commissions, boards, and committees are volunteer hours. And you put in an awful lot of time, especially this time Park and Rec, because of all of the 2 new parks we were having in our city, which is a real rarity in a community lately. So you put in an awful lot of hours, and I want to let you know how much we really appreciate your efforts. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you.